Hey guys, it's Izzy here, and today I'm going to be doing my June TBR, showing you all the books that I would like to read in the month of June. Let's get into it. Last month in May, I did not finish my TBR. Thank you, Stranger Things. Thank you, very long books, and you know, just that kind of thing. I still read the amount of books I wanted to read, but I didn't read all the books I set out to read, so we do have a carryover this month. And then, how y'all know, I choose a genre to read for my mood reading. I'm not going to be doing that for June, July, and part of August because I want to give myself a summer break where I can just really read whatever I want to read, which is scary. I'm also going to kind of focus on books I have hauled this year so they don't just get put away, like, so I didn't waste money, you know? I mean, I read every book that I own anyway, but yeah. So the book that is a carryover is a part of my 5-star prediction project, and that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. This is his first novel, and this is a historical fiction as it takes place in the 1960s. So Rick Dalton is a washed-up Western actor, but Hollywood is moving on from the weekly Western. Cliff Booth is a stunt double and a good friend of Rick. And the one thing that makes Cliff so well known is that he might have gotten away with murder in the past. Next door to Rick is a young and up-and-coming actress, Sharon Tate. And somewhere across the county on an abandoned movie ranch is Charles Manson. So this doesn't purely revolve around the Manson murders. I feel like that is a big misconception, and I thought that before I saw the movie for the first time, is that because the movie came first and then Quentin Tarantino wrote 2 books really. There is a paperback version and then there's the hardback version, and they are both different even if they have the same title and all of that. There is different content in both. So since this is just the one that I owned first, that's why it's on the 5-star prediction, but I think either one could be a 5-star. But this focuses really on Hollywood at the time, the golden age of Hollywood, and how the Manson murdered that really put an end to that, of what Hollywood and Los Angeles as a city was in general before that. And the Flower Child, the hippie movement, all of that, it really killed a lot of that. There's a few other events that lead into that, like in real history, but not featured in this necessarily. This was my favorite movie in 2021. I know it didn't come out in 2021, but I watched it for a second time and just realized so much more of what this movie means. Should be interesting to see how it transfers to page. Next we have An American Marriage by Terari Jones. This is one of Barack Obama's favorite books, so that's interesting. But this was my contemporary pick for the month, and it was my book of the month back in February of 2019. So our characters, let me confirm the names. Celestial and Roy, it says they are the embodiment of the American dream and the New South, and so they live like perfect lives until they go and visit, was it Roy or Ray? Roy's family down in Louisiana. He gets arrested for a crime that he did not commit and gets sentenced to 12 years in jail. We see Celestial's journey as she's independent, but she is falling back on close friends, but she's losing that love that she once had for that husband as time goes on and they're spending time apart. At first she was convinced that he didn't commit this crime, so maybe she's not as sure anymore. So his case is overturned and he gets let out of prison 5 years in and returns to Atlanta where they lived, and that kind of flips both of their lives around because Celestial had gone on with this life of not having him involved and having to move on from that, and now he's back and they have to adjust to their marriage again, and she has to make that decision if she wants to continue with this marriage or continue the life that she was living without him. So I love the cover of this. I feel like that can relate so much, as this is life and then all the branches coming off of it, of what different decisions can do, what those decisions can lead to. Very good cover choice. And as I said, this is President Barack Obama, one of his favorite books, so that obviously very intelligent man who I like, so hopefully that I will like this as well, because I have shared some favorite books with him in the past. Now we have a nonfiction, and that is the Tigress of Florence. I'm not exactly sure. I've never been to that part of Italy where that is. Renaissance Italy's most courageous and notorious countess, Caterina Riario Sforza de' Medici, she did get married quite a few times, by Elizabeth Lev. So this goes to show that when you think of women in the Renaissance, you think of them being like the Virgin Mary in paintings. Caterina, she was a mother and she was a wife, but she was also a warrior. There's great stories about that. And she stood toe-to-toe with the Borgias, a wife whose 3 marriages would end in bloodshed and heartbreak. But she is beloved and vilified. There are a lot of people who have lots of different opinions on her, but she's a woman that I've always found so fascinating. And then I love when she got portrayed on the Medici Netflix series. She was a character on there. The Sforzas just play an interesting part in my life because I did spend time in Milan, Italy, and we would literally pass their castle like every day, and we would go to their castle, not every day, but you know. And I didn't know about the Sforzas till then. Then as I got back, I've obviously researched them more. Would love to go back to Italy, but I don't have a passport, or my passport expired. Yes, so can't wait to learn more about Caterina. We have a graphic novel, again, just trying to get through these ones I own. This is volume 3 in the DC Universe Rebirth. So I am Bane. He is no joke. He is not a riddle. He is not a bird or a cat or a penguin. Not a scarecrow or plant or puppet. He is not a fairy tale. Yeah, I have no idea what this is about, but because both Bane and Batman know one thing, only one of them will walk away from the final confrontation unbroken. So maybe this is the last one in this series. Don't know, but just trying to get through these graphic novels that I own. Lastly, we have a thriller, and this is kind of a new one. I stole it from my grandma. and that was like 2 months ago when I did that, but Straight into Darkness by Faye Kellerman. As you can tell, this is in Nazi Germany, or at least part of it revolves around that. So a young wife is murdered, disposed of in a garden. So our investigator is obviously like really shook by that, and it's just the way that her body is left, like the way the clothes are thrown out, and it's just a very artful way that the body was left there. Okay, kind of shocked by the next paragraph, and this is in 1920s Munich, by the way. It says Berg, that's the investigator, superiors demands quick answers and a quick arrest. A vagrant, the woman's husband, anyone who can be demonetized, too much YouTube will do. When a second body is discovered, the city erupts into panic. The unrest fomented by the wild-eyed, hate-mongering Austrian Adolf Hitler and his brown shirt party of thugs. So I don't know what to expect from this, because for when it came out, it probably came out in like the 90s, I don't know, 2005. Obviously, I don't think this is going to be very politically correct, and I think this might be kind of wild, especially, I did not know Hitler was involved in this at all. It's always interesting to see genres mixing, as this is historical and then thriller, and I've never read anything like that, so I'm always willing to give anything a go, so I'm willing to give this a go. And we will see if I like it or not. So you will see a wrap up at the end of the month with my thoughts on all of these books. This video is like essential to watching that, because in this I talk about the synopsis, and then in the wrap up at the end I talk about my thoughts on the books, and there'll be like extra books for my mood reading and all of that kind of thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.